The weekend is called Midwinter Muse, a poetry weekend, which is presented by the Mayor's Arts Council and sponsored generously by some assistance from the Green Mountain Cablevision Company. And we're very proud to present 2 evenings of performances. On Friday evening, the 21st of February at Memorial Auditorium, will be Aron Tagor performing, accompanied by Ellen Powell on bass, as an opening act to both Margaret Randall, who will be reading some of her poems, and Allen Ginsberg, who will be accompanied by Stephen Taylor on guitar.
Really? Those two are going to be here in Burlington? Really?
Yeah, right here.
Wow. Allen Ginsberg. And then what happens Saturday night?
That's on Friday night, February 21st at Memorial, and ticket prices for the Friday evening event are $6. On Saturday evening here at Contois Auditorium in City Hall will be highlighted local luminaries, poets from the area who range in age from age 6 to 86. Some highlighted performances will be readings by David Budbill, who has recently written a play called Judavine, which has been just recently closed. Also John Engels, and many other Vermont poets. In addition, we will have some musical accompaniment along with some of the performers. One in particular, Zenzile, who is a South African poet who is presently residing in Vermont, will be accompanied by the band called Phish. And he has a very interesting presentation, which I think depicts present-day situation a la present rap music. So it's a combination of poetry and rapping and music, which ought to be a very interesting addition to the program. The evening will be a combination of readings by school children from local schools, as I said, local professional poets, some known and some unknown, and highlighted, as I said, with some readings by John Engels and David Budbill.
Great. Thanks, Lou.
Okay. I'd like to welcome you all here to Memorial Auditorium. Thanks for coming out tonight. The weather, I know, is terrible. I'd like to welcome you all to the Midwinter Muse, a weekend of poetry presented by the Mayor's Arts Council in partnership with Green Mountain Cablevision. We're pleased to be able to present an entire weekend of poetry, a medium which does not traditionally capture headlines. However, I think Midwinter Muse is an exception, given today's free press. Yay! Hard to come by. The poets we're featuring this weekend range in age between 6 and 86 years of age. Their reflections, visions, and views will be brought forth to us to savor through the art of poetry. Before I go any further, I'd like to introduce the luminaries of the Mayor's Arts Council. Susan Green, my co-director. Susan, can you come out and be seen? Susan? Okay, thank you. Marcia Rhodes, our coordinator of development. Marcia? A special thank you to our volunteer coordinators for Midwinter Muse, Lucia Volino, Andrea Luna, and Dorothy Stone, and the hardest working staff in Burlington, the staff of the Mayor's Arts Council. Thank you, all my co-workers. And now, the most well-known luminary in City Hall, Mayor Bernie Sanders.
Thank you. Lou Andrews was saying, just before we went out here, that last year, when we attempted to put on a winter festival, we desperately needed snow. We didn't have any snow. Tonight, we could very much live without the snow and the ice, and we haven't. It's unfortunate, but thanks very much for coming out. This is an exciting weekend for Burlington, because it brings together experienced, well-known poets tonight, and tomorrow night we have the unknown poets, the young people and the old people and just people in our community. And it's a chance for people to come together and express what's in their heart through poetry, which is a beautiful thing. So, welcome to the start of a very exciting weekend, and thanks very much for coming. Thank you.
My name is Zenzile. I'm a South African poet. I come from the unliberated country of South Africa. In my land, in South Africa, my people are fighting for freedom. My people are fighting so that we in South Africa and the whole world can be free. Over here, on percussion, we have a band from Burlington, Phish. We'd like to give you some poetry from South Africa and some rhythms of exile. And we'll start off by Exile Shadows. Yeah. Tonight in Cape Town, tonight in Sebokeng, tonight in Langa, tonight in Guguletu, tonight in Kwamashu, tonight in Johannesburg, tonight in Johannesburg. Clean shadows walk like threats. Tonight in Johannesburg, clean shadows walk like threats. They are children of the bullets you rain from machine gun fire. Aftermaths of your past education, born from the sharpest ends of bayonets, stabbed deep into the heart of my people's pride. My people's pride, my people's pride. Your speeches will never silence the deafening echoes of John Foster Square, of Cairo cells, the blood upon the walls of Sanlam Center, the torture rooms interrogating the perimeters of Caledon Square will not be wished away. Will not be wished away. Will not be wished away. Tonight in Sebokeng, in Cape Town, in Langa and Manenberg, in every part of our land in chains, lean shadows walk the streets, strange shadows of a people's war. Tomorrow, your guns, your speeches will echo. Fly! To the toiling masses of South Africa, inside the bloody, fertile platform, plowed field, hard ground, armed brakes, workers' hammers, sickles, bearing cheap farm labor, cold, repressive steel, raw material, sickles and hammers break ground, workers revolt, revolution, gunfire, labor pains, South Africa, born strong, liberated African brainchild, breaking ground, breaking ground, breaking ground, breaking ground. Amandla, 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 Amandla. South Africa, we understand the meaning of internationalism. For me as a South African poet, to be reading in Burlington with all the poets who are reading here today, it's a great honor. And I value this experience for the short time that we are together. And whenever I go back to South Africa, I will remember that in Burlington, they heard the message of African liberation. It's a poem for my brothers and sisters, the black brothers and sisters in this country. Today, February 21st, they assassinated a black leader called Malcom X. Malcom X was a great revolutionary. And to us, we feel dearly his loss. 22 years since he left us. It's a poem dedicated to Malcom X. Bold black brothers rise. Rise up and make a stand. Rise up to the challenge of skyscrapers with nuclear teeth and history texts that dilute your heritage to nothingness. Bold black sisters rise. Rise up like a tidal wave. Disturb the great big boat that brings deceptive peace to the water and drowns our nation in our dreams. Rise up, soul sisters. Rise up, soul brothers. Rise up and make a stand of togetherness and unity and blood, because black will always be black, and black will always be black, and black will always be black in the museums of Europe and in the streets of Harlem, the Bronx and Miami, and on the streets of Cuba and Puerto Rico. Black will always be black, but proud. It's a short time to read, so I'll just have to move this thing on a little bit. It's a poem to my mother. My mother is called Phillida. To Phillida and all the worthy mothers, the pain you knew was not in vain when you gave life of itself. For little could you know that pain was the first birth pain of liberation. Oh, mothers of our militant generation, your pain has made us strong as we reflect that selfless sacrifice of motherhood that gave your sons and daughters nationhood. Mothers, not because we force motherhood, but we believe that women in South Africa, when they of their own free will decide to give birth to children, they are bringing soldiers into our country to fight for what we want. So we respect our mothers. The tears you wept while we were gone will form a river and water your barren fields and soothe your burning hearts and wet your unkissed lips. Oh mothers, yes, mothers of this militant generation, tonight your love has warmed your exiled sons and daughters and made us strong to march back home to you. Surely home, surely home. In South Africa, we have reached the junction whereby we have to decide between armed liberation struggle and any other struggle. We chose armed struggle not because we believed in violence, but because there was no other way in South Africa. This is a poem dedicated to our heroes, our leaders in jail, Nelson Mandela, Govan Mbeki, and Ahmad Kathrada. 1961, when Mandela said it's time to lift up the gun in South Africa, in South Africa, in South Africa, in South Africa. And there was shuffle, and there was langa, and a lot of people lying dead on the ground in South Africa, in South Africa, in South Africa, in South Africa. We look to the east and we look to the west of our land that is chained by the Vadnais in South Africa, in South Africa, in South Africa, in South Africa. Was a day of decision with a long-term vision in South Africa, in South Africa. What a day when the East no had the way in South Africa, in South Africa. It was December 1661 when the people of South Africa lifted up the gun. What a day, 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 what a day. Was December 1661 when the bombs went off in a sabotage campaign in South Africa. And the people declared that we stand by our leaders, Mandela, Sisulu, Mbeki, Maharaj, Katrada, and Goldberg. Mandela, Sisulu, Maharaj, Mbeki, Katrada, and Goldberg, and Goldberg, and Goldberg, and Goldberg. And in the farms they knew that the Savior had come. In the mines they knew that the Savior had come. And in the shanty town they knew that the shanty had come. To South Africa, 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 to South Africa. Amandla, away, Amandla, away to Amandla, Amandla, away to Amandla, away to Amandla. Amandla, away to means power is ours. Long live the struggle for people's power in South Africa. That I believe is very relevant in this country. There's a lot of things that need to be done. I just want to share with you a little of my own history. My name is Zenzile. I'm a participant. I was a participant in the Soweto Rebellion and an organizer. And I was forced to flee my country. But tonight, I felt that I have to share something with the North American people of my own experience. It's a poem called Outward Bound. 3:15 p.m. in a northbound train, a train moving slowly north. Cigarette smoke and people waving as the northbound train is moving. Another young man on the run. How many young lives will South Africa send to the refugee camps and foreign jails? 3:15 on an exile train, running away from Malcom Foster, running from a daily jail with chain marks on his hands. These northbound souls were sons and daughters of mothers and fathers, sons and daughters of people, of human beings. These sons and daughters of human beings on the run. Oh, these northbound trains bring so much sorrow. But one day, these northbound trains will trace back the tracks and freedom waits. It's a poem to a brother called Zenzile. Another Zenzi, a Zenzi who gave me my name. At Mark where we stood, Zambezi goes by, in spirit united to do or to die. That bright fatal day, life's fatal clause, tore doctor from me without even a pause. Oh, day in August, why were you born? A noble fighter, son of the soil. Day of days, you forced me to mourn. I'll never mourn. I never did that. For freedom I'll toil. Oh, morning so bright, did you listen to hear? Did his dying wish reach your soul, reach your ear? For freedom I will live, but also die, if the struggle is far as the earth and the sky. The memory of you has touched our soul. Your dying words, so noble, so bold. Deep in my soul, you kindle the flame. So for freedom, I'll die on South Africa's plain. A poem called Waiting for the Revolution. Waiting. Waiting for the revolution, waiting for the revolution. Waiting in the ghettos of the Bronx, waiting in the concrete jungles. Millions, faceless, nameless, waiting for the day the dawn will rise upon the land. Upon the bloodstained streets, Miami tells the history of racist genocide, the war on black America. The people wait inside this daily jail. The walls are built in dollars stolen from the food stamp lines that stretch from coast to coast. Stolen from the homeless, disenfranchised people of this land, who know the genocide will never cease until South Africa is free. Until South Africa is free. Until Salvador is free. Until Chile is free. Until the whole of the world is free. We won't rest, waiting for the revolution. The people's patience is not endless. And this is the last poem we will do for you. But I just want to share something that I wrote recently. In fact, very recently, in this state of Vermont. Collection called Snow, and it's just one poem of that. It's called Snow. It is Friday, the 21st of February 1986. The voices slowly subdue the sounds of white American students eating the fat of the third world. Breakfast, pig's back, sausage, eggs, toast, coffee, thoughtless, even at mealtime, unconscious. They have been oblivious to our pain, the oppressive load of centuries of genocide and exploitation. Never, even as they sipped their decaffeinated coffee, did they pause and ask, where does that coffee come from? Whose backs were lashed with cruel whips? Whose children starved when coffee pickers were ill? How many backs were broken? How many workers died in protest to this crime? Americans, Americanos, listen, international brothers and sisters, my proletarian comrades, listen to me when I say, as the snowflakes muffled screams, cries, liberation dreams of black, red, and brown, and yellow people in your land and everywhere. Remember Bobby Sands. Remember Bobby Sands. Remember Sojourner Truth. Remember Harriet Tubman. Remember Che Guevara. Remember Ho Chi Minh. Remember Lenin. Remember Patrice Lumumba. Albert Lule, remember, remember, remember. Lillian Ngoyi, remember, remember, remember. And also remember that Malcom X was assassinated today, 22 years ago. Thank you very much. I would like to introduce the band. On the end is Trey. To my left is Trey. This is Phish, Jon Fishman. This is Paige. This is Mike, and this is Jeff. I'm a little hoarse, but thank you very much anyway.
Thank you, Zenzile and Phish. We're going to take a 10-minute intermission here. I'd like for you all to know that out in the lobby will be on sale books both by Margaret Randall and Allen Ginsberg, and also a new publication called Friends Are Like Rainbows, which is a collection of poems by elders in the Burlington area. We hope you enjoy it all. And there's some refreshments in the hall also. So join us back in 10 minutes.